For another episode of underrated movies. Matt Cleathermos here. I'm not drinking the beer. I'm not wearing any gear. But I am going to do a review of the 1989 underrated movie that, in my opinion, I consider it a cult classic. It didn't do well when it came out, and it still gets shit on by the fans and the critics. I don't give a fuck what they think. I would like to tell them to fuck off. Here's my middle finger. You can sit on it if you don't like it. And this is what I'm reviewing, is Shocker. That's right, Shocker. It came out in 1989. First I'm going to talk about why people don't like it, and then I'm going to talk about why I like it, and why I think it's good, and why I think they're full of shit. Is they don't like Shocker because it tries to copy Nightmare on Elm Street. First off, this movie is directed by Wes Craven. He has a certain directorial style. Every director has his own style, and they bring that style over into the next films that they do. And this is a good example of you know, you put this on the table of the late 80s of movies that Wes Craven did. This is right up there with probably Serpent and the Rainbow. And Serpent and the Rainbow got a little bit bigger reception than what this got, which is, it's good that the movie did good. I think Serpent and the Rainbow is a good movie. I don't own it. I don't think I will because I wouldn't watch it much, but this I like better than Serpent and the Rainbow. It's just like a fucking fine, entertaining movie. It's everything I want in a slasher film and a horror film. Okay, first off, the film critics also don't like this because they think the humor is a little bit cheesy. It's intended to be cheesy. It's a horror comedy slasher film, and its runtime is almost 2 hours. Some people felt the movie was a little lengthy. There's a few parts where it is a little lengthy, and it was kind of drug out. I will admit that. You know, it has a few flaws, but other than that, I think it's a great movie. I can't. There's not a lot of really. There's nothing negative I can say about Shocker. You know, and I love the poster done for this movie. If you get a shot of this, there's a good glare. I can get something that might not have a glare so you can get a better shot at it. I just use visual aids, you know, because I don't want to, you know, YouTube's a bitch about stuff, and all the fucking studios are about violating copyright, so here's a better shot at what the poster looks like. Right here. Just to give you an idea. I love that poster with him, with the name of the killer. His name is Horace Pinker, and he's a sociopath. He's a TV repairman, and this is basically the plot. About to be electrocuted for a catalog of heinous crimes, the unrepentant Horace Pinker transforms into a terrifying energy source. Only young athlete Jonathan Parker, with an uncanny connection to Pinker through bizarre dreams, can fight the powerful demon. The two dive in and out of television programs, chasing each other from channel to channel through stunning scenes of disaster, game show, and old TV reruns. A blending, dazzling special effects, jolting. And anyways, let me read the in between that. This is just basically like liner note type stuff. Master of Horror Wes Craven directs this exciting visual treat which introduces diabolical mass murderer Horace Pinker, who harnesses electricity for unimaginable killing powers. A blend of dazzling special effects, jolting humor, and electrifying sound, Shocker is an ironic tale of terror and madness in the video age. So, you know, this came out in 1989. And this is when home video was starting to take off. You know, they had VHS back in 1989. They had TVs and everything was color, and they had camcorders and you know, that you can use, and I'm using a camcorder to record this. It has a social comment about how America is controlled by TVs. It kind of is. You know, there's some people that they raise their kids on the TV. I was raised on the TV myself, I'm not going to lie. My dad's kind of an asshole. I love my mom. After they divorced, you know, I'm not going to tell my life story, but I'm going to say this, is I did watch a lot of TV. And I don't care for the news, and they make fun of the news, definitely. And playing the part of Horace Pinker is Mitch Pileggi. And I don't remember the name of the guy that plays Jonathan Parker, but he's pretty well known. His name is Peter Berg. And so it's got Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker, Peter Berg in it, Alice Cooper's niece, Cammie Cooper, and Michael Murphy. So it's got a really very good cast. It's also got Ted Raimi. Ted Raimi is the younger brother of the director of Evil Dead, which I mentioned this in my last review. A lot of Evil Dead references. Also, I like the concept of Shocker because it's a horror comedy. It has some cheesy humor. And let me explain to you about cheese for a moment, okay? So just give me a few minutes to explain cheese. This is what I'd call this segment in this review is the cheese moment. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the cheese moment. Now, there's different kinds of cheese, and all of them taste good. We have such wonderful, such wonderful cheese flavors as provolone, Colby Jack, and then there's also stinky cheese, blue cheese, cheddar cheese, American cheese, Swiss cheese. I hate Swiss, it tastes like crap. Spicy cheese, easy cheese, and nacho cheese. So that's all, and that's all the cheese that there is. You know, and there's so much cheese that I could spread around. You know, but there's only so much cheese that I could spread around to you, my fans. So, you know, you, my fans, for a moment, I'm gonna get a little cheese. Mwah! Give you a kiss. Give all my fans a kiss. I know for the guys that wasn't very manly, but I couldn't help myself. I'm not gay, by the way. And also, there's also bad cheese and good cheese. So there's cheese that tastes good, but you also, in films, you have good cheese movies with good cheesy moments, and bad cheesy movies. Like, so for example, a good cheesy movie would be Toxic Avenger. It is a little cheesy, but it is really good. It's a good kind of cheese that I like. Then there's bad kind of cheesy, such as Troll 2. Troll 2 is bad kind of cheesy, but it's so bad that it's actually funny because it's so terrible. You know, this is the best worst horror film ever, the best worst movie ever for that matter. And anytime I'm going to make reference to a bad movie and take these underrated gems, I'm going to say that the worst movie, you know, is Troll 2. I have a friend named David Roy. David Roy will probably see this. Hi there, David. How are you, my friend? Kind sir. And he would rather watch Shocker than watch Troll 2. I'm going to speak for him. I don't have psychic powers, but I know that David would pick Shocker over Troll 2. You know, it's like you can only pick two, and pick them wisely, Neo. You can take the blue pill and stay behind, or you can take the red pill, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. So, you know, that's the equivalent of it. Is breaking it down. Shocker is a good movie, and also another thing I like about it is I think it is a little bit long, I will admit. You know, but I like it. Like, it has some great. It's not just a horror comedy, but it's kind of an action film too. It has some great chase sequences and action sequences. This horror film, Shocker, it has some of the most chase sequences I've seen in a horror movie, in a slasher film, and it's really, really cool, and it's somewhat funny too. And it has a great heavy metal and rock and roll soundtrack and punk rock. It's got, you know, I can't remember them, so I have to look. I'm kind of cheating here, so I can't really remember all the bands, but I'm just going to drop names of bands. It's got music by Megadeth, Alice Cooper, Iggy Pop, Dangerous Toys, The Dudes of Wrath, Bonfire, and Dead. So those are all the bands that I could think of that feature music on there. And it's just a damn entertaining movie. I mean, you can't go wrong with Shocker. I mean, you want to watch a movie like a cheesy, entertaining horror comedy with a group of friends, and if they happen to like heavy metal music and horror movies, this is a perfect movie for them. And it also has a cameo by John Tesh and Kane Roberts, the former guitarist of Alice Cooper. So that's a winner right there, you know. And it has all these references to Alice Cooper. Like this has Alice Cooper references up the wazoo. There was a ton of Alice Cooper references. As a matter of fact, the same, the movie was released by Universal Studios too, and I have a lot of good things to say about Universal Studios. Like, I'm not one of those guys that cares about the big studios because I think most of them are full of shit. You know, they have put out good movies, but I don't like the big studios. But the only big studio I really have a heartfelt love for is Universal Studios. Here's the little logo down here. It's kind of a reflection though. But here's a better look at it if the DVD doesn't reflect too much. Here we go, right here. Yeah, and you know, I love the logo, the little world thing, and it says Universal, and which is great. And I like it because Universal Studios, they put out all these really entertaining, really fun horror films, and back in the day, and science fiction movies, and they don't do that so much anymore. I really kind of miss the old school Universal. You know, I mean, they're known for, you know, I'm going to just briefly mention Universal to mention like what kind of film library that Shocker would fit in with their horror film library, with such films as The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Jaws. You know, these are just some of the film library, and Frankenstein, just to name a few. These are a few that I own. And you know, I could review movies that I got my back turned. I could review movies that are good movies that everybody knows about. I could do that. But I'm going to review movies that not everybody knows about, that is underrated, that it's like a hidden gem, and it's worth something to me as a fan. And I'm one of those guys where I do enjoy amateur filmmaking. I do enjoy making people laugh and entertaining people. I also get a kick out of talking about film and filmmaking. And if it's types of genres of film I like, then that's really worthwhile too. And I have such a, I want to say, admiration and love for filmmaking, and I have such a love for good cinema. You know, these are movies that are really overlooked by the general public. That, you know, Shocker's one of those hidden gems under the Wes Craven movies. You know, people might get mad at me for this. I don't really care. They can if they want. I'm sorry if I upset anybody. I'm not trying to do that with this what I'm going to say right now. They might not like what they hear, but I think that Shocker is a better, for me, as a horror film fan, it's even more entertaining than Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left. Not to say I don't like those. I do think they are really good, but I like Shocker because it delivers the elements of what I would want to see in a horror movie. It's got action, it's got suspense, it's got gore, it's got humor, and it's got fucking heavy metal and rock and roll. And you can't go wrong with heavy metal and rock and roll. Fucking rock and roll and heavy metal. Rock and roll! Fucking metal, bitches, fuckers. So, that's my review for Shocker. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked Shocker, and if you don't, I'm going to come to your house and bash your face in, and I'm going to have Horace Pinker kill you for me, so I don't have to get my goddamn hands